Welcome. Hope you guys are doing good. You can hear me clearly. Active shooter, 8:12 p.m. Eastern. Um, Toronto police operations. They said that at the St. Clair Avenue and Arlington Avenue, right in the middle of the festival zone, there was a report of an active shooter. Multiple injuries. Police on scene. The public told to avoid the area. So far, 5 people with gunshot wounds, 2 people pronounced dead on scene. They're saying avoid the area. Play this here. What kind of festival going on? I don't know. Let me see if I can get a live. Yeah, I think I got a live first too, guys.
Police presence. There was an ambulance. There was an individual I saw on the ground. It was quite the
Oh, I
upsetting
can't show this.
situation. Still very,
Damn.
very tense here. There was a moment ago that people were rushing the area. It seems police are
See, how can I
walking
do
by with
this?
large guns here. Like they're looking for an active shooter, I gather.
Looking for an active shooter.
And what is the messaging that you're hearing from police officers in the area? They're telling people this is an active shooter situation and to stay away right now.
Yeah, the police want people to go home.
Frankly, try this.
They want people to get out of the area. They want people to clear out. They just, people are afraid. People are upset. They want people to move out as soon as possible. That's, this festival appears to be essentially shut down.
Still, damn.
And can you help paint the picture of what the atmosphere was like? We know this took place in the Salsa on St. Clair area. The weather is beautiful.
Let me try to figure this out.
There's usually thousands of people that go to this festival. So what was the atmosphere like when this shooting unfolded?
We were all having fun. We were dancing. We were hanging out with our friends. And suddenly the energy just changed and everybody started rushing and pushing. People were terrified. It was just quite the situation. The energy is quite tense here still. There are a lot of people just milling about, people saying they heard gunshots and just people extremely upset to have seen, such a situation, someone on the ground, receiving CPR.
No.
At one point there was, appears to be a young woman who was carted by, who had been shot. Like, it's extremely upsetting situation down here. So that's what we're dealing with.
And how quickly would you say people realize some music? Maybe people thought it was fireworks. How quickly did people
Trying to figure this out so I can get us to see this video of the scene, but they have it blocked on some video play. So give me a second. Let's see. Maybe I have to try another channel. Yeah, active shooter guys in Canada. I don't know if the person's caught or not or what's going on. Let's see if we try here again. There we go. There we go. I figured it out. All right, thank you for the patience. There's a lot of technical shit that goes on sometimes, and some of these companies block you from like showing or sharing the video, and so I had to.
Big is the scene right now?
Last second, figure it out. Let me fix the volume for you too.
I think people are just starting to vacate the area now. It's just, it's done. Myself, I'm at Arlington. I'm a bit down. I'm in a safe area. I'm kind of on the side here, so I'm not in an unsafe place, thankfully. The police are expanding the police tape, so they're just like continuing to like expand the secure area where they don't want people to go. So more and more, they're growing the area and pushing people out. That's sort of where we're at now. There still is a lot of people milling about, a lot of people in disbelief as to what has unfolded here, but people are starting to leave, frankly.
Are you hearing anything from business owners in the area or just people attending the festival as well? Obviously, everyone saw this unfold together at the same time. What are people around you saying?
I would say that people are just stunned and upset. I was chatting with some of the business owners right near there, vendors and whatnot. They just are in disbelief with fear, like dance schools and whatnot. They just can't believe it has happened. All of the chat groups are going crazy. I've been on some of these groups, and people can't believe that this has occurred.
And Joanne, we have to ask you, how are you doing right now? Obviously, we appreciate you hopping on this call with us, but you were there seeing this unfold. So how are you doing tonight after witnessing this?
Yeah, I was just coming down here to have a fun time with my friends, and this incident unfolded. So I'm a little shaken myself, frankly. I mean, who expects to go to a festival and have, now that I'm reading two potentially deceased and several
Two
injured,
deceased, they're saying,
not
yeah.
something you expect when you go out dancing with your friends.
Absolutely. Well, Joanne, thank you so much for joining us under these circumstances. And please stay.
Let me see. Does this?
Set on fire. They located that vehicle around 3 a.m.
Regarding this active shooter situation at Clair Festival, police telling us they got reports of shots fired around 8:15 tonight near St. Clair and Arlington Avenue, which is where the annual Salsa on St. Clair Street Festival takes place. It doesn't wrap up until later tonight, so this would have been a very busy peak period. Police now saying 2 people have died. They were pronounced dead on scene. 5 other people were found with gunshot wounds. It's unclear how serious their injuries are at this time, but we do see paramedics and ambulance, of course, on the scene. Since police are calling this an active situation, they are urging people to stay away from the area. The TTC also says subway trains are not stopping at the St. Clair West station on Line 1 due to a security incident. We do have crews headed to the scene this moment, and we'll be following all the latest updates. So stay with CP24 throughout the evening as we continue to follow this breaking news story. And turning over to some other developing news, we are following a triple shooting in the J.
Okay, so let me see if we can get some updates on this active shooter situation at this event in Canada. Hmm. And do they have what are their gun practices over there? I thought they had they banned guns or something, no? I'm gonna have to confirm that and check it out. York shooting. Let me see what else we got here. Here's video. Okay, Breaking X just posted this. Let me show you guys this. He said footage of Toronto active shooter situation which left 2 dead. No report of shooter in custody. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. What's up with the shooter? Is it clear? Is it safe? Is it not? Where did the shooter go? Motive. Let's okay. 5 minutes ago, they posted something else. This was the last post they did. Let me put this up on the screen. We'll try to get some more information. Second. This is the latest information right now that's being said. Active shooter. Reports of a shooting. Multiple injuries. Police on site. And then 29 minutes ago, 5 people located with gunshot wounds. 2 people pronounced dead. Please avoid the area. Let me see if I can get you guys up on the screen.
Morning. City News.
2 people shot and 3 others injured.
Hamilton police have made an arrest in an early morning stabbing.
That's crazy. They have an active shooter and they talk about everything else. What the hell? Canada. What happened? Who's the suspect? What does the perp look like? What's the motive? Was it personal beef? Was it over sneakers? Was it ideological? Somebody look at you the wrong way. Active shooter, 5 shots. Yeah, here's this picture. So, oh, is there they have scanner out there in Canada? Somebody posted like a screenshot. What? See. Let's see if I can get access to this. Mm-mm.
Toronto Fire, pump 342 as ambulance 893 on scene.
Roger, 893.
They no mention of the shooter in custody. People are saying 2 people dead. I see the same video going around that we just saw. St. Clair Festival. It says that police are looking for the active shooter, according to CP 24. Let's see. Okay, they got live updates here at least. Toronto police say they're responding to an active shooter on the Salsa on Clair Street Festival. 2 people have died while 3 others injured. Police said they got a call around 8:12 p.m. for a shooting Officers arrived and found 5 people suffering from gunshot wounds. Police said 2 were pronounced dead. Reporter describes the scene. She said people were having fun and enjoying the festival before the shooting. We were dancing. She recounted that the energy just changed. People are terrified. Okay. The annual TD Salsa on St. Clair happens along St. Clair Avenue West between Christie Street and Winona Drive. It is touted as Canada's #1 Latino-themed cultural celebration. Why? Why at the Latino-themed event would there be such violence?
Toronto police are responding to an active shooter. Police now telling us that 2 people have been pronounced dead on scene. They have also found 5 other people with gunshot wounds. Police got the call around 8:15 tonight near St. Clair and Arlington Avenue. That is where the annual Salsa on St. Clair Street Festival is taking place. Thousands of people are currently in that area for the festival. Police are now urging people to stay away from the area as they continue to investigate. They are calling this an active shooter situation. We do have crews heading to the scene this minute. Stay with CP24 for the latest on this breaking news story. We'll be following all the latest updates.
That's a clip. So Canada's kind of like, when it comes to these situations, I don't cover them often with Canada, but the last one we had, they're kind of like delayed. Takes a bit to get any kind of live feed. You know.
Search of the area will notify you if we find anything.
Roger.
I didn't even know they had scanner, to be honest with you. It was the first time. So they got scanner? There is no public Toronto police voice scanner.
Pump 232 on scene, 37 on chair.
Roger, 232. Well, 232, Rescue 223 said earlier they think it's elevator 2.
What? From that's the right.
Yeah, look at this. I got to look into that. If anybody knows, I don't know this Canada stuff. Kesley said, I live close and our media isn't reporting. I saw this on their page. Well, thank you for coming by. Yeah, the last active shooter from Canada we covered, there was like almost barely anything until after, which I would think if you're local or whatever, you'd want to know, hey, avoid this area. This situation's happening. You want to know about your loved ones, or like, I don't know, I have a friend, a cousin, a family, my kids at this event. But I noticed with them, it's like just kind of like this radio silence, I guess, until after. There's a citizen too. Okay. I'm going to check the Canada websites again. And then I might go. They had a little bit of like the scene and they were talking about it. And then it's like they panned away and they haven't since. Live updates. Okay, so some updates from a couple minutes ago. It says scene secured. Police say in a social media post, Toronto police say they have secured the area. No additional victims have been reported. A large police presence remains in the area as officers continue their investigation. And the thing with that is like you would think like, okay, well, maybe communicate. Is the suspect in custody seen that they are? Or are they on the loose? Do people need to be careful? Do they need to be, whatever? Nothing. talking about Nolan Wells on one of the Canada. Maybe it's probably pre-recorded. Nolan Wells. Listen live.
Lang, here's what's making
this video on Facebook. I've showed some of the videos. I can show it again. I saw like 2 videos. That was about it. But I'm going to check Facebook right now. They have like a 2-minute video from the scene. Okay, the citizen. I can work on that too. I can pull that up. Citizen. Okay, I see pictures. Okay, there's a video here. Let's check. Let's take a look at this. A video about a minute long.
navigating the crime scene. I know that much. It's a crime scene. I can say here though. No. This is not a crime scene. It's alright. You're okay.
Appreciate it, officer.
My brother's in custody. Can I go that way? Sorry? Can I go that way? My brother's in
Damn, I still see people falling through. Damn, I still see people falling through here going to like, I don't know where they're walking. I guess they're leaving, but fuck, I'm still here. Like, I guess this is where people are being directed, but they haven't told me to. Whoa! 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 What the fuck? Yo! 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 Holy shit! Yo, what the fuck? What was that?
And then, yeah, Citizen, thank you, Layla. They have one video up on there. We'll take a look at it. It might be talking about it now. Let me see.
But then you got paramedics dealing with stuff, and you've got a crime scene that has to be managed, casings to be found, and blood, and
there it is.
and
there
different
it is,
things that will be there that they have to process and photograph and gather into evidence. So they don't want crowds getting in the way of.
Canada TV is weird. Like they have, this is the TV station. They have all this shit on the screen at the same time. What the? They got the weather because the weather's so important. They got random traffic cams. The lower thirds take up half of the screen, half of thirds. What is going on? And then it's like this tiny little thing in the corner. Okay.
In a big area like that in a metropolitan city, it's pretty tough to have any sort of a perimeter that's set up, at least minutes after the event, maybe longer. People can be so far gone and long gone. They could be in a condo on top of a building. They could be anywhere. So At this point, I don't think they're going to find anybody in that area. They're going to search
Suspect's
as
gone.
best they can.
Okay.
But how do they search every building, every office, every store, every parked car? So they'll be probably basing their search on what people are telling them. We saw a man running this way with a gun. Well, that's where they're going to start searching and work out from there. But as they get descriptions, maybe have a video, see the cars that were screamed out of the area or whatever, that'll all be considered as well as they're looking at where they need to go and what direction, etc.
And how concerned should police be right now when it comes to public safety? They're telling people to go away, but we really don't have much information on the suspect or suspects right now.
Well, it's like any shooting that happens in the city of Toronto, like we saw in the city last night. I mean, you've got a crime scene, you've got a search on for people that committed a crime, that were shooters, that have guns. And so that's very concerning in terms of public safety. But the difference in this one is there were so many people there, which may be a good thing in terms of how many people actually saw something and provide evidence to police that might help them locate the shooters. But boy, oh boy, we're very fortunate there wasn't more people killed. This just rings of what we see in the States all the time at big events where people go into crowds and start shooting and you've got 12, 13, 20 people shot. Thankfully, that's not the case here, but of course our prayers are with those that were shot and their families at this difficult time.
And following this initial shock over what has happened, a lot of people are going to be asking why and what the possible motive would be around a type of shooting like this. We haven't heard anything from police yet, but what type of motive or reasoning could they be investigating right now?
Well, people will jump right away to terrorism, and likely that's not the case. If it is, we'll soon know because they'll take credit for something. It may be gang activity.
I don't know. Likely it's not the case. We don't know anything about the story. Why is terrorism immediately ruled out? Well,
case may be, but at the same time, it could be.
It's probably not. It might be something probably stupid. A lot of the times it's something stupid, but other times it's something more.
And her wife, likely gang activity, but it could be a variety of those things.
Okay. Well, Chris Lewis, CTV's public safety analyst and former OPP commissioner, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We appreciate your analysis on this, and I'm sure we'll be speaking pretty soon.
Thank you, CJ.
And just recapping what we know so far about this deadly shooting that took place on Salsa on St. Clair, police telling us that 2 people were killed following this shooting. It took place around 8:15 tonight in the St. Clair and Arlington Avenue area. This would have took place during the Salsa on St. Clair Festival, where thousands of people attend each year. Right now, police saying 2 people were pronounced dead on scene. 5 others have been found with gunshot wounds. It's unclear how serious their injuries are at this time. Police describing this as an active shooting situation. We don't know right now how many suspects they're looking for or any description of those suspects, but police are telling people to avoid the area. Earlier, the St. Clair West station on line 1 was closed. The TTC giving us an update that it has since opened. The scene has also now been secured by police, so you won't be able to get through that area currently. Stay with CP24 as we continue to follow the latest on this breaking news story. Today, one of our colleagues was at the event tonight. CP24 digital writer Joanne Lavoie was there when the chaos broke out. She joined us and described what she experienced.
We were all having fun. We were dancing. We were hanging out with our friends. And suddenly the energy just changed and everybody started rushing and pushing. People were terrified. It was just quite the situation. The energy is quite tense here still. There are a lot of people just milling about, people saying they heard gunshots and just people extremely upset to have seen, such a situation, someone on the ground,
Another clip too. Let me check this out.
Who had been shot. It's extremely upsetting situation down here.
This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24.
Oh my God.
time of need. Call us.
Okay, let me see what else we can find on this. Canada is a weird place. No offense. It's gonna. Let's see. Yeah, it's weird that Canada's just like, I don't know. When they have these huge emergency situations going on, it's like almost the last thing they're covering is the emergency situation. It's probably why nobody really watches the news anymore. That was the video from earlier.
Yeah? Where? Oh,
Oh, I think I maybe found something. No.
Live right now. I have been 100 people watching. Yeah. 4 people right now. 10 people watching now. 100 people watching. I'm live right now. Well, this is a press app. Yeah. Yeah. See? Oh, look. People are saying this is right by my apartment. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so the latest info here. Let me put this on the screen. Oh, latest info. Didn't copy it. Police. They're saying this. Now they're saying 6 people located with gunshot wounds. So before I think it was 5. Now they're saying 6. Oops, sorry about that. I'm still zoomed in. 6 people located with gunshot wounds. 2 pronounced deceased. Suspect is still outstanding. Okay, that's the latest information as of a couple of minutes ago. Let me see what else I can find. Okay, I think this is another video here. Breaking X posted this. Let me see. Where's that? Did we watch this already? I can't tell. Let me play it. Put it on the screen.
Still see people falling through here going to like, I don't know where they're walking. I guess they're leaving, but fuck, I'm still here. Like, I guess this is where people are being directed, but they haven't told me to. Whoa! 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 What the fuck? Yo! 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 Holy shit.
Okay, I found a video post from about 15 minutes ago from Canada. Let me put that on too.
Annual Salsa on St. Clair Street Festival is taking place. Police saying 2 people were pronounced dead on scene and 5 others have been found with gunshot wounds. People are being urged to stay away from the area, with police describing this as an active shooter situation. The TTC says subway trains are not stopping at St. Clair West Station on Line 1 because of a security incident. Stay with CP24 for the latest on this breaking news story. I now want to bring in Joanne Lavoie. She is the web writer here in CP24 and has been following this very closely. Joanne, you were at the Salsa on St. Clair Street Festival. Tell us, what did you see? What did you hear when this situation unfolded?
Yeah, I was just here having fun with my friends, dancing. Today's actually my day off. So I was ultimately just dancing when suddenly there was some kind of push of people, and I was pushed back onto Arlington here. This is where I'm standing at the same corner. There's a stretcher just leaving here. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, ultimately I was pushed back, and then people were just saying, there was a shooting. This is a little tiny bit west of there that there was a shooting. It appears that a short time later there was a heavy police presence. There was an ambulance. There was an individual I saw on the ground. It was quite the upsetting situation. Still very, very tense here. There was a moment ago that people were rushing the area. It seems police are walking by with large guns here. Like they're looking for an active shooter, I gather.
And what is the messaging that you're hearing from police officers in the area? They're telling people this is an active shooter situation and to stay away right now.
Yeah, the police want people to go home. Frankly, they want people to get out of the area. They want people to clear out. They just, people are afraid. People are upset. They want people to move out as soon as possible. That's, this festival appears to be essentially shut down at this point.
And can you help paint the picture of what the atmosphere was like? We know this took place in the Salsa on St. Clair area. The weather is beautiful outside. There's usually thousands of people that go to this festival. So what was the atmosphere like when this shooting unfolded?
We were all having fun. We were dancing. We were hanging out with our friends. And suddenly the energy just changed and everybody started rushing and pushing. People were terrified. It was just quite the situation. The energy is quite tense here still. There are a lot of people just milling about, people saying they heard gunshots and just people extremely upset to have seen, such a situation, someone on the ground, receiving CPR. At one point, there was, it appears to be a young woman who was carted by, who had been shot. Like, it's extremely upsetting situation down here. So that's what we're dealing with.
And how quickly would you say people realized something was wrong? I imagine it would have been very loud in that area, lots of music. Maybe people thought it was fireworks. How quickly did people realize, I think something serious is happening here?
Ultimately, we were just dancing and the DJ music cut and then the people just began rushing. So literally it was seconds that the situation unfolded. People were milling about, wondering what's going on. And it appears like maybe the police were chasing after a suspect. I'm not entirely certain. I'm near the McDonald's area. And again, the energy changed again, more fearful. People just rushing out of here. So within seconds, you could tell that things were just unfolding rapidly.
And what is the situation like right now? Are you close to the scene? Of course, we want you to be safe because police have been telling people to stay away if you can. How big is the scene right now? Are people staying away?
I think people are just starting to vacate the area now. It's just, it's done. Myself, I'm at Arlington. I'm a bit down. I'm in a safe area. I'm kind of on the side here, so I'm not in an unsafe place, thankfully. The police are expanding the police tape, so they're just continuing to expand the secure area where they don't want people to go. So more and more, they're growing the area and pushing people out. That's sort of where we're at now. There still is a lot of people milling about, a lot of people in disbelief as to what has unfolded here, but people are starting to leave, frankly.
Are you hearing anything from business owners in the area or just people attending the festival as well? Obviously, everyone saw this unfold together at the same time. What are people around you saying?
I would say that people are just stunned and upset. I was chatting with some of the business owners right near there, vendors and whatnot. They just are in disbelief. We can't believe this occurred. And it's kind of scary. Everyone's a little fearful at the moment. And also people who are here, like attendees and people who, had a booth here, like dance schools and whatnot. They just can't believe it has happened. All of the chat groups are going crazy. I've been on some of these groups and people can't believe that this has occurred.
And Joanne, we have to ask you, how are you doing right now? Obviously, we appreciate you hopping on this call with us, but you were there seeing this unfold. So how are you doing tonight after witnessing this?
Yeah, I was just coming down here to have a fun time with my friends, and this incident unfolded. So I'm a little shaken myself, frankly. I mean, who expects to go to a festival and have, now that I'm reading 2 potentially deceased and several injured, that's not something you expect when you go out dancing with your friends.
Absolutely. Well, Joanne, thank you so much for joining us under these circumstances, and please stay safe. We appreciate you talking to us.
Absolutely. Thank you, CJ.
And let's just recap what we know so far regarding this active shooter situation at the Salsa on St. Clair Festival. Police telling us they got reports of shots fired around 8:15 tonight near St. Clair and Arlington Avenue, which is where the annual Salsa on St. Clair Street Festival takes place. It doesn't wrap up until later tonight, so this would have been a very busy peak period. Police now saying 2 people have died. They were pronounced dead on scene. 5 other people were found with gunshot wounds. It's unclear how serious their injuries are at this time, but we do see paramedics and ambulance, of course, on the scene. Since police are calling this an active situation, they are urging people to stay away from the area. The TTC also says subway trains are not stopping at the St. Clair West station on line 1 due to a security.
Okay, let me see. Okay, we got another live feed here, so let's get the live feed going. So if I'm quiet, it's because I'm looking for information.
Senior officers as well, according to Toronto.
Difficult with Canada.
We're hearing 6 people in total suffering gunshot wounds, including 2 people who have been pronounced deceased here at the scene. The scene itself, one of the primary scenes at least, I spotted it at St. Clair and Arlington. That's where there was several ambulances that were staged. Kind of the back alley just behind, just south of St. Clair was closed off, and that's where people were, where police and first responders were trying to get people moving. It seems like that's where the primary altercation first happened.
They're waving?
And then certainly the situation.
Hi, there was a mass shooting, active shooter. Hi. Oh, yo. What the hell is going on over there? Okay.
That happens each and every year. I talked to a young woman who lives at St. Clair in Arlington. She described being in her basement apartment to me, Sija, looking out her window and seeing feet running. So people trying to run, get away from the scene, saying that she could hear people screaming, not screaming in pain, but screaming in fear, she told me. She came outside, kind of got a sense of what was going on, and quickly realized that a bang that she heard that she told me she first thought was a car backfiring was in fact, now she knows, the sounds of gunshots essentially just outside of her apartment door, Sija. So certainly a really scary situation for a lot of people. And here in St. Clair, I mean, there's still a lot of people congregating. This is the conclusion of the festival, but I can tell you in the divisions, the subdivisions, the homes, residential areas north and south of St. Clair, there are a lot of people who are kind of sitting on their patios, on their front porches, talking to neighbors, kind of beside themselves, that there's this mass mass shooting situation that happened here on St. Clair. So again, 8:12, the initial reports of shots fired, multiple injuries. Police came to the scene. Initially, they said 5 people were found with gunshot wounds, 2 pronounced deceased. Police since updating that to 6 people found with gunshot wounds, 2 people pronounced deceased. And still, police are asking people to avoid this area. A large part of St. Clair is closed to pedestrians and to vehicles right now because of this police investigation. And my last check, I asked one of the senior officers here at the scene if he was aware of any arrests being made, and he simply told me he was not at this point, CJ. So it's still at this point, it sounds like at least one suspect still out there on the loose. And my understanding is, and what I'm hearing from Toronto Police, is there is going to be a police update, a scrum at some point. They're just here at the command post trying to get as much information as possible before they communicate with us and communicate to the public as well. But we'll do our best now to walk around and see if we can find anyone, CJ, who actually heard the gunshots, who saw kind of the scramble, people running for safety and trying to get away in the aftermath of now what we know is a mass shooting, multiple people shot, 2 dead here on St. Clair, CJ.
Yeah, and we just see the massive police presence behind you. Can you talk to us about what you're hearing from police and what it looks like in terms of the different units that are on site right now?
Photo bomb.
Well, I can tell you, I've seen police vehicles here, CJ, from so many divisions, from divisions as far as Scarborough, which means, obviously, when you've got the situation, you've got a street festival, you've got thousands of people walking around Midtown. Certainly, calls went over the radio asking any available police resources to make their way here, because in the beginning, police didn't know how many people suffered gunshot wounds, how many casualties are there, how many suspects are they looking for. They simply didn't have that information. So it's just flooding the area with as much police and first responders as possible. So I've seen vehicles here from all across the city, as far as 43 Division and 42 Division in Scarborough, all the way to the west end as well. There are hundreds of police vehicles in the area, not dozens, but hundreds of police vehicles in the area, CJ. And I'm looking into the command post, and I can see some officers in there looking at notes, looking at data, trying to figure out and get the correct information, the most accurate, up-to-date information that they can possibly have in this scenario. And there's a lot of people walking around St. Clair, by the way, and you'll see people getting in front of our camera, waving at the camera.
Nothing happened.
They don't necessarily know what's going on, so they're not necessarily aware of the seriousness of the situation that we're here following on St. Clair at Winona. So certainly it's a situation where several blocks away, east of where we're standing, is where the actual shots were fired. And so people who are down here, there's music playing as well, might not actually know what has happened. They would have seen people running or trying to get away from the area, leaving on.
Don't they like clear the scene? You guys got to go, whatever. It seems like they're still partying over there. So they have not caught the suspects. 2 people killed, and I believe the last I read, 6 shot at this festival. Holy moly. I'm still checking for updates to see what's going on out here. How does the suspects get away with no picture, no description? It looks like it was pretty crowded. A lot of people out there.
The Salsa on St. Clair Festival tonight. 6 others are injured. It's unclear how serious their injuries are, and the search continues tonight for the suspect or suspects. We don't have a description yet or a number on how many people police are searching for. But again, the shooting took place around 8:15 tonight at a very busy, popular festival. There would have been thousands of people there at the time. Keep it here on CP24 as we continue to follow all the latest developments on this story. And we also want to turn now to another story. We are covering a shooting from last night, a triple shooting in the Jane and Shepherd area that killed 1 person and left 2 others seriously hurt.
Okay, keep checking here. Okay, I think we have something here.
Big guns. It's more people who are, they're more traffic control, guarding the scene, but certainly it definitely looks like it is still a very active investigation here. Sorry, it's pretty noisy here. I'm just trying to move a little bit. But, it's much different from some of the scenes I've seen before.
CBC's Lorenda Redekop in Toronto tonight. And we're joined again by CBC's Journey To, who is at the scene. Journey, you have been moving closer and closer to the scene of the crime. I know that you're just, looks like a meter away from that police tape. They said that they've secured the scene right now. What else are you learning?
I've learned a couple of things, Deanna. The police can't comment on whether or not the festival will be up and running tomorrow, but it is shut down definitely for the rest of the night. Up above me, there was a police chopper circling the area. I was just listening to the last report that the suspect might not have been caught. We are hearing that from witnesses as well, who said that they saw someone run through the alley with a gun far from the crime scene as it was being shut down. So that is a bit of witness reporting that is alarming, to say the least. I have spoken to officers about that, and they said that they cannot comment at this point. I also had the chance to speak with Deputy Mayor Mike Cole.
What did the mayor have to say?
The deputy mayor was outraged. He called this abhorrent. He said that he is calling for the maximum sentence with no bail, that he is disgusted that this sort of thing happened at a family-friendly event in his own neighborhood where he does live. It was very upsetting news, and he was not happy, to say the least.
Journey, bring us back to when you were just enjoying your day off, having fun. You were not on reporting duty today. When did you realize that there was a shooting or a dangerous incident that was taking place?
Yeah, Deanna, I've been out at this festival since about 1 p.m. today, and it was a gorgeous sunny day. People were out with their children, with their families, with their elderly. They were dancing in the streets, taking lessons, and it all went south around 8:15, which for anyone who attends a festival like this, like Do West Fest or Salsa on Clair, you know it doesn't really pick up until the sun goes down and things get a little bit cooler. So around 8:15 is when I got a call from a friend, a street over on Arlington, where we are right now, who said that they saw police officers running with automatic weapons down Arlington to St. Clair. They said that they were hearing citizens running north on Arlington, saying that there was a gun, that there was a shooting. Some people reporting, that they had heard firecrackers, others saying that they had saw the victim. And about 45 minutes later, around 9 o'clock, was when the stampeding sort of started, when people were running up, rushed in a street over Arlington, down St. Clair. Police started pushing people west, but also I saw police pushing people east in a barricade as they were pushing people off of St. Clair to shut down the festival.
Now we're seeing some of the footage, much of which was gathered by you, Journey, and we're seeing that one perimeter that has really been secured by police tape. So they're saying that they have secured the area. Of course, we don't have updates yet on what is happening to the suspect, the shooter or shooters. There's no news on their identity or how close the police are in capturing this person. Tell me, this was, needless to say, an incredibly frightening event for anybody at this festival. That is very family friendly, brings out a huge crowd of people. You mentioned the word you used, Journey, was stampede, and I'm just looking at, there are social media posts. It's difficult to verify in the moment which ones of them are authentic and which ones are not, showing crowds of people just running for their lives. What did you hear from people who were on the scene?
Yeah, I heard a number of things from people who were on the scene. There were plenty of people sobbing in the streets from what they had witnessed. I heard from one person who saw the shooting and the victim. She said that she heard a sound of a semi-automatic weapon, that it wasn't just like a pop or a pow. It was
I thought they banned
more
it
like
over there.
Sound. That's how she spoke to me when she was describing the scene. She said she saw a 6-foot male on the ground with his shirt cut off, that he had been shot in the arm and in the side, and that they were attempting to do CPR on him for 15 to 20 minutes as she watched in horror with her friends. These were teenage girls. Behind me, there are police officers coming this way. We're just going to try to get a shot. I'm not sure where they're going or what they're doing, but they do not look pleased, to say the least.
To say the least. Journey, thank you so much for bringing us all this reporting, and I know that you will stay on the scene for us as more information becomes known. That was CBC's Journey To. And we are looking at a scene from earlier on Saturday at Toronto Salsa on St. Clair Festival, where there was an active shooter incident. We know that 2 people are dead and several others are injured. This is in Toronto's St. Clair Avenue West and Arlington Avenue area. The police have secured the perimeter and are telling people to stay away. There are no updates on the suspect or suspects, and from what we know, the police are still in pursuit of this person. We'll bring you more information as it becomes known. Keep it locked here on CBC News Network.
Place on the loose. Okay, we'll keep an eye out. Let's see if we can get some more suspect or suspects. Let me check the Toronto police. See if they have any official update. Nothing from them. Here we go. I got another one.
A shooting that happened on St. Clair Avenue West during the Salsa on St. Clair event. Keep it here at City News 24/7 as we continue to follow this developing story.
Oh my God. They're all in sync.
I don't know how much my body can take.
This is a quest for truth. I was found behind a dumpster. I don't have memories who I am.
Lord Almighty, God help me. Okay. Canada. Meanwhile in Chicago, right? W Cub on Rumble said that. We can listen to this audio. Steve posted this.
22-year-old man who was pronounced dead at the scene. Police have identified that victim as Abdi.
Let me put this on. Like 100 tabs open. Bro, this is so crazy.
Hey guys, we're part 2. We're with TPS operating in the warm zone, looking if there's any patients to treat.
30, Roger.
The board member of the condo represent the condo and the 10. They did provide a key box code at the concierge desk. Let me know when you're ready for the code.
We just sold on Christie and then.
Not at this time. We're currently walking eastbound on St. Clair towards Christie for a report of people shot. I don't know your location right now, but if you want to move towards that location, Christie and St. Clair.
Striking 1, acknowledge. We just south on Christie and Benson, 1 block south of St. Clair. We're going to move towards your location.
Roger.
Is that Strike Team 1 that's reporting Christie and St. Clair for shooting victims?
That's Strike Team 2, Chief. We haven't confirmed yet, but we're just with police investigating. We'll update you as soon as we find.
30, Roger.
Car 30, Gunfire. Would you like me to dispatch additional apparatus to backfill Strike Team 1?
Yes, I'd like a pumper sent to Christie and Benson, please, to stage.
Roger, Chief.
We do have an active shooter in the area.
Roger, Chief.
Pumper 332, medical, trouble breathing, intersection of Pumper 344. Pumper 212.
All right.
234 from
She's back on the scene.
Tow, who's at the scene. Journey, you've been bringing us updates ever since that moment when you, on your day off and off duty, so to speak, realized that there was a shooting nearby. Describe the scene for us right now.
Right now, the scene is very somber, Deanna, to say the least. There are police officers, more and more, it seems, running in squads south on Arlington. You can see them sort of crowding around behind me. There are choppers overhead. The festival is surely over.
I don't know. They're smiling, hanging around, shopping, partying.
Just sort of
What?
strolling by. I guess the sense of urgency and fear.
The sense of urgency
that was there earlier, is now over
as
the police have secured that area. But we have seen some images of police vehicles, including what looks like an armored vehicle, passing through, I suppose, as they're looking for the person who committed this shooting. Bring us back to the first moment when you realized that there was a shooting in the area.
Yeah, Deanna, I've been here all day, enjoying the festival from about 1 p.m. to, I would say, 8 p.m. It was nothing but smooth sailings.
Okay, Layla, I think she found somebody out there live streaming. Let me see if I can pull it up. Crazy, like the computer's fine all day, and then I start a stream, breaking news thing, and like everything that could go wrong goes wrong. It's like wild. Okay.
Someone tagged me in the parent group chat out of the blue. Leo's dad, I noticed the lunches you packed.
God help me. Let's listen to this while I figure out the
up
TikTok
Arlington,
stream.
down St. Clair, and then police began to create a barricade and push people both west and east on St. Clair.
Journey, I know that you have been doing, frankly, some remarkable reporting and getting some of the police officers to speak to you as well. I mean, do you know what is happening right now? Certainly, the police have not confirmed it. Otherwise, this person is still at large.
How are you going to close a sidewalk?
Yeah, the police have not been able to confirm or deny whether or not the person is still at large. I will say about an hour ago, there was, it seemed pretty calm here, and there was stampeding up Arlington as I was trying to collect some B-roll, and people were running and saying that they saw someone with a gun in the alley towards the bottom of Arlington. I can say a few moments ago, I did hear the police radio go off, and a bunch of police went running south, and the radio said South Arlington, South Arlington. These police officers were running in squads with semi-automatic weapons as well.
So a potential indicator that would be perhaps the location where they think that the shooter has gone to. You have been speaking to people, the witnesses who were just enjoying a beautiful summer day and what's for many people one of the highlights of the festival season in Toronto. What are you hearing from people?
I've heard a number of things from a number of different.
Okay, let me see. There's somebody out there live right now. Thank you, Layla, for the TikTok. Let's just listen in a little bit because I feel like the news is almost repeating or replaying stuff.
And the live in the chat. All right?
What is it?
Go back. Okay, keep going. So double tap the screen, guys.
Okay.
If you want me to go back, double tap the screen. Double tap the screen and drop. Do not end the chat. Do not end the live. Do not end the live. Don't tell me go back. Drop in the chat. Say, do not end the live. I need you to drop in the chat.
Or did something happen?
What did you say?
Did something happen now?
Yeah. I can't say anything.
Oh, you can't say.
I'm live streaming.
I can't tell you unless
guys,
you like and subscribe.
I need you to say.
But there's people
do not
dying,
end
bro.
the live.
You have to like and subscribe. Holy shit. Okay.
Known. Thank you, Journey. That was CBC's Journey Tow.
Thank you, Deanna.
And CBC's Lorenda Redekop is also at the scene tonight. She had this report for us a little bit earlier.
What I saw is that 2 people have been killed. There were multiple shots that were fired. I was very close to it. Of course, as we always hear when there are shootings, some people thought it was just fireworks. Initially, where I was, People didn't move at first in the first few seconds, and then everyone just started running, jumping over where there were people selling food on the side of the road. I ran into a convenience store. A lot of people were in there. You can see that there is this yellow police tape they have up now. That is a closed off scene that has actually been expanded from what it was earlier. And so after I was in that convenience store, I came out when it was clear that the shots were finished, and went up to where you see there is a sort of where people wait for streetcars normally, but this is of course closed off for the festival. And I could see behind that emergency personnel were working on somebody who had been shot. Friends with me too, they also saw more. Somebody saw a person go down. And then another friend who was with me, she was a bit away from me, and she said, while I was filming some of the video of the emergency personnel working on someone, she actually was in a spot where some people were just saying, don't take video, encouraging everyone not to take video. And actually people started praying. It was, it was clear what had happened. And so people took a moment and tried to respect that person. But this is a festival. I have come here for years, and, we always think of this as such a fun festival. For some people, it's the best weekend of the summer. Salsa on St. Clair, this is where a lot of Latin Americans, also other people who love Latin dancing come. Everyone dances. And this was pretty close to the main stage here where it happened, just a little bit east of that. And so there were a lot of people. The streets are packed. Now, police have moved everyone farther west, trying to get people away. And we've heard, I think it was police actually who took over the microphone and just telling people to, move away, get west. And I'm just going to.
I don't know what's going on, because on one hand, yeah, we have this situation, but on the other hand, you see people dancing and shopping and all this stuff.
Yeah. She's not granny, she's auntie. She's auntie, guys.
Yo, Canada, if you got some streamers out there, you would kill the news, because this news don't really do it. Where's the streamers in Canada? Are you guys not allowed to stream?
Guys, don't forget to leave a follow, guys.
You gotta get like a
guys, don't forget to leave a follow. Drop a follow. Guys, drop a follow.
My God, I can't with this dude. That's why I can't do TikTok. I think they might be talking. Let me see, are these witnesses?
So basically, I was just at the salsa stage over there. So because the music was really loud, so I didn't hear the shooting. But suddenly, everybody was running towards the stage. And then we were like, everyone was like, what's going on? What's happening? And there was all the rumors, shootings, whatever. And then the police came, and then they stopped the music. And then everybody was just leaving. And then I was walking from here, and there was like a yellow tape, and I saw a bunch of paramedics coming down with like a man, and they were just doing CPR, and he had like an oxygen tank and everything, and he didn't look well. So they went into the ambulance, and the ambulance just stayed here, and didn't move for like half an hour. And then there were so many people yelling. I think it's his friends, and it was just everybody outside. And yeah, it was just, and then now we're just seeing all the police, like it was looking for an active shooter, and then all the helicopters. And then yeah, it was just everything happened so fast. Yeah.
So were you guys together when this happened, or you were separate?
Separate.
So let me ask you, Pamela, what did you experience?
I'm just come for see the festival, and I see the person in the floor, and the paramedics have a CPR, yeah. And I'm see for one moment, and I'm leave, I'm walking. When I come back and I cross the street, I listen back to me like 3 shots, and I just run. And I just everybody is run, yelling, and scream a lot. So.
Did you know right away that they were shots? You heard 3 shots. Did you know what it was right away, or you just heard 3 loud sounds?
Is it 3 back to me, like these sounds, and we just run. Yeah, I don't see for who he is or where he go. We don't see.
Yeah, I know you shared with me a video, and we'll get that to our viewers later, that shows people just running. Were people scared? Were they screaming? Were they asking people to kind of get inside? Like, what was happening?
Like, I don't know, everybody is run. Like, I don't know, for everywhere. So, it's bad. I don't know, like here is a lot of people for the community Latin, and everybody is yelling a lot, and the people is in the floor in
Okay, I wonder if they have a chopper now. Is this chopper video?
When I saw the carts in the ambulance, and he just did not. So, yeah.
How did you process that? I guess you're still probably processing, trying to make sense of what it is that you saw. What are you thinking now? You just moved here from New Zealand a few months ago. We're at this festival. It happens every year. I mean, certainly we don't thankfully see this kind of situation happening very frequently in Toronto, but to be here and experience it kind of in real time, what's going through your mind now?
It's just very bizarre. It's just very surreal. I'm not sure because I'm New Zealand safer. But I mean, it's fine. I'm safe. I'm in my friend's house, but I'm just a bit too scared to go home at the moment. But I don't know, yeah. But I just feel very lucky that all my friends are safe, and everybody I messaged who were at the Salsa Festival and at the Salsa School, everyone's safe. So that's all that matters.
Here are the latest numbers that we're getting from police and from first responders, and we're still seeing a lot of police activity. There's ambulances, there's officers that were just going by, and our chopper actually caught video as well of somebody being arrested. We don't know who that person is. We don't know how they're connected to this situation. But just to hear 8 people in total, 6 of them injured, 2 of them deceased. What are you thinking, Pamela?
Oh my God, it's crazy. I'm so scared because this is happening in Mexico, but I think here no, and it's just one come for enjoy the festival, and this is happening this is crazy. This is really, really crazy. I'm in shock, now, it's bad.
Yeah. Thank you both for talking about it. I'm so glad you're both safe as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. And just to give you some perspective, Sija, so we're just south of St. Clair. St. Clair is right there where you're seeing the police officer. Just beyond that, where the road closure sign, that is St. Clair. There's police tape up there, essentially from, Bathurst almost all the way to Winona. It is shut to vehicular traffic, shut to pedestrians. As we were trying to get here, actually, we tried to walk along St. Clair. Police asking us to get off of St. Clair as well. They are still clearing it. They're working essentially to go stall by stall, vendor by vendor, not only making sure that people are safe. Certainly a lot of work will be here as well for police to gather video footage, to talk to witnesses. And you can only talk to those witnesses for the first time when something like this happens. And just again, we saw a few seconds ago, the first street south of St. Clair, just before we talked to Pamela and JC, there was police vehicles, it almost looked like a motorcade from where we're standing. They were going by, and from what Chopper 24 caught, and we'll turn that video around for our viewers as well, someone was arrested, taken down to the ground by several police officers. And again, we don't know how that person is connected to this situation. We don't know if they're connected to this situation. The last information I had just before 10 o'clock was that there was still a person, the suspects were still out at large. We don't even know how many suspects at this point. Police have not clarified how many people they perceive to be involved. What I'm hearing from police as well, there will be a scrum. I can tell you the Deputy Chief Frank Barreto is at the command post, which is at St. Clair and Winona, Sija. So certainly as soon as police have information to convey to us and therefore to convey to the public, of course, we'll carry that live to our viewers here on CP24. We'll continue to walk around, try to get as much information from people here just near St. Clair and Arlington as quickly and as much as possible, CJ.
Okay, our Beatrice Baseman reporting live from the scene. Thank you for speaking to those witnesses for us. And again, the latest that we know so far, 2 people dead, 6 others injured after this deadly shooting at Salsa on St. Clair. Stay with us. You're watching Toronto's Breaking News. We'll have much more of this breaking news story after a quick break.
Hello, Islanders.
Save big this summer on Crave. And
All right, so maybe potentially somebody might have been caught. And maybe they caught somebody on a helicopter being arrested. Thousands attending food festival may have video evidence. Okay. Let me see. I wanted to check the police site again. On X, the official post.
Okay, likes, I'm gonna get closer. 30K, guys. 30K. Yeah, I'm sure. Let's go. 30K likes. Then I'm definitely going to go closer.
I don't know how people can watch that stuff, man. It's crazy. Let me see. The police have not posted anything officially in a while. The last thing was 6 people located with gunshot wounds, 2 people pronounced deceased. Police remain on scene. Okay. Let me see if there's any new videos or information on Facebook. More pictures of the scene. CBS posted 2 people killed, 4 more injured, even though now they're saying 6 officially from the police. Salsa. TD Salsa, celebration of Latinos and music. A time for celebration and love and peace. And that's somebody being taken out.
Guys, they mess up with the kids. So that's cool. Sir, officer, what did you do? No disclosure. All right. Officer said no disclosure.
That was fun, low-key. Oh, look how fun.
Officer said no disclosure.
Okay.
The St. Clair Avenue West and Arlington Avenue area. If you can just hear above me here, you can actually hear that there's a sound of a helicopter up in the sky. This is likely probably a police helicopter, as I believe they have said that the suspect or suspects are still unaccounted for. And so this also adding to the reason why police continue to canvass along St. Clair Avenue West. We're continuing to see here that several officers are now walking down along the street, likely continuing to gather evidence here. We've spoken with one person earlier who was saying that it was just chaos in terms of everyone just trying to run for safety, run for shelter. I actually have one person here that heard the sound of the gunshots shortly after it happened here. I'm just going to walk over to my camera person here, Kareem, and I have here with me Kira. Kira, thank you so much for joining us here again. You are live on City News 24/7. Can you describe what you heard around the time of 8:10 p.m.?
So around that time, I was in my home, just a few houses that way from the event, and I started hearing a lot of screaming. It was a lot of like fear, not happy screaming, and I heard mass amounts of people running by my homes, and I didn't know something like this happened, and people were running in between my home and then on the porch and ducking for shelter. And at first I just thought it was an overflow of people. I just thought the crowd was kind of pushing people into my street. So I got ready and came out, and that's when I then knew that it was shots that I heard. That's what those bangs were, and it was people running for cover and running for their lives. And yeah, it was pretty, it's impactful knowing that something like that happened just a few houses down from you, and that I didn't even know what was happening at the time it was happening, and I only found out later when I asked.
Just seeing it all unfold when you came outside your door, I'm sure maybe the word that comes to mind is chaos. Like you said, you saw people running in all directions.
The emotions were very mixed when I went out. Like, again, I was still trying to piece together, and I saw it in real time, the aftermath of an event like that. And it was a lot of people trying to tell their loved ones on their phones that they were safe, and people taking refuge
getting arrested over here, though, looks like, or something.
In the nearby houses and on the property lines for safety, and some people were crying and some people were continuing the party. Everyone reacted differently. So when I then came to the corner, because I was interested in maybe like buying some food from the festival, it's my first time, that's when I learned. And then I made sense of all the reactions, all the running, all the screaming I heard. And Yeah.
That's what the tape is for, sir.
Did you realize that it was the sound of gunshots that you heard, or did you think it was something
I
else?
thought it was those cars, you know, or like that have the pops, or I thought it was balloons or some sort of music with a pop inside. My mind did not go to a gunshot, and it was. Even walking out, I didn't go to gunshot. I thought, oh, something must have happened. I wouldn't have thought shot. I've lived here for many months now, and it's a nice family, quiet neighborhood. It's safe, and you wouldn't think an event like this would happen, and I'm really sorry I hope everyone's safe that I saw, like all the faces that were running for their lives. They were scared, and I hope they're okay now.
And you were saying that some people were trying to run for shelter and safety that you saw. Were people trying to, run to your house to try and seek shelter?
Yeah, so they were running like in the small pathway in between my house and another's, and almost like to my backyard. And at first I was like, are people trying to get in? Like a lot of questions went through my mind. And then there's people on my porch who were ducking like trying to take cover and telling their friends, get down, she has a gun. And I learned all this after. But in the moment, it's when I heard the yelling, saw the shoes in the pavement in my area, and heard all the people at my doorstep. And I didn't know that they were trying to run for their lives. I did not know.
And just hearing the details that continues to unfold, and we're still also continuing to gather those details itself, but you live in this area, and this is the scene that you're seeing right now of your neighborhood. I mean, I can't imagine what's going through your mind in terms of the feeling that you have just seeing this.
Mm-hmm. It feels unfamiliar. Like I got so used to like going out at certain times, and I know what the scene is. It doesn't feel like the neighborhood I knew yesterday. It doesn't feel like my area that I was just in. It feels, and then seeing again like the concern, the fear, the negative emotions on people's faces in a neighborhood where everyone's friendly and you pet each other's dogs. It's almost dysregulating. And again, I don't know where to go from here. Like, it's hard just sitting in my home knowing like what's happened just a few steps away.
Kira, thank you. I really want to thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We are still here. If you are just joining us here on City News 24/7, we continue to follow breaking news here of a mass shooting that happened in the city's West End. We are by St. Clair and Arlington Avenue. And if you do recall, Salsa on St. Clair was happening on this very street. And it was around 8:10 p.m. Where Toronto police say they got reports of a shooting, reports of an active shooter. They asked people to avoid the area as much as possible. We just heard from Kira there saying that she saw several people trying to run for shelter, run for cover, just unsure of what was happening here. And so you can probably imagine the fear, going through Kira's mind, or the questions that going through her mind in terms of what was exactly happening. And also the questions of the minds of those who are trying to run for cover and run for safety at an event where they were coming just to enjoy a good time. Now we are continuing to gather information here. We're also waiting for Toronto police to provide an update. But from what we know right now, according to paramedics, 7 people shot, 2 people have been pronounced dead. We are still awaiting word as to whether any suspects have been apprehended, but at latest check, according to Toronto police, what we know is that it appears that the suspect or suspects remain outstanding. We do know that several Toronto police officers, again, remaining on scene here, as well as paramedics. We spoke with a couple of people earlier on before, and they were saying that they were here and they didn't necessarily hear anything. They thought it was fireworks at some point, but they just saw that everyone was running, and they decided to run themselves. Quite the scene here as we continue to see a large swath here blocked off with police tape here.
Afia, it's Alan Carter in the control room here in the studio. I just want to jump in and get you this update. That the Deputy Chief Frank Barreto has now just confirmed he will speak to the media at 10:45 at the command post, and I've also got confirmation that the mayor, Olivia Chow, will also be there. Afia, we'll get back to you in just a second, but I just want to bring everyone up to speed with where we are right now. As you have been telling us, at around 8:30 this evening, there was an altercation during the Salsa on St. Clair, where St. Clair Avenue is shut down for a massive street festival. A number of shots were fired. Police responded to the scene, and we can tell you that 2 people have been killed. A number of people have been injured. That number has been changing. As we say, we will get that information from the police conference in terms of more details coming up at 10:45. The other key information, of course, as Afia has been telling us, is that the suspect is outstanding at this time. And we have seen ETF members, we have seen heavily armed members of the police force moving out across St. Clair. Obviously, it has been evacuated. The festival is over. It has been, the streets have been cleared, but tremendously concerning that the suspect in this case is still outstanding. Obviously, at this, we will get some kind of illumination on at 10:45 when we get some updates from Toronto Police, from the Deputy Chief. We see the members of EMS here, Toronto paramedics, leaving from the scene. Afia, if you are still with me, where are you in relation to the command post?
Alan, I can hear you. We're just a few minutes away from the command post. Right now we're at St. Clair and Arlington. This is the intersection where Toronto Police had reported where the shooting took place. And so here's where we are on scene. And it appears that this is where several of the officers actually were when we saw them at one point, and several officers carrying their firearms. And at some point, I even saw a few officers running on St. Clair towards Christie. I have not seen where they've gone since then. That was about a half an hour ago or so. And then we saw dozens of officers again then walking in a group in the opposite direction. And so it still continues to be a very active scene here. They're likely still canvassing the area, but as you just mentioned, Toronto Police likely to give us an update in about 15 minutes or so. So we will we'll head over there just to see the update that Toronto Police have. But again, we're here by this intersection where Toronto Police made that initial report as to where the shooting took place.
Okay,
I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more details and developments that will come forward.
Afia, just stand by for a second. We have a map of this area to just give people a sense of where we're talking about. Obviously, St. Clair is a major avenue in the West End, and this is a very populated area, and this is a massive festival that we have in the city of Toronto. We'll try and get that map up for you. And as you said, the initial police report came in for it happening here at St. Clair and Arlington, where you are right here. However, I don't know if I see much in the way. Do you see much in the way of emergency response in terms of ambulance? Here's the map of what we're talking about. This dot indicates for you here where Afia is and where the initial call came in for the police to respond. And as we say, we're getting an update from police fairly shortly. Afia, is there anything like bullet casings? Any kind of anything in terms of emergency response, in terms of the paramedics? Can you see that from where you are?
Well, Alan, I can see I can see a glove like that's here. I don't necessarily see any evidence markers here on the ground. It might be a further west. It also could be maybe a little bit down the street towards Christie. I don't necessarily see it at this particular intersection where I'm at right now, but I have heard a few people saying that there have been a couple of police officers by a McDonald's, which is near Christie. So I can see it in my vantage point right now, so it's just a few steps away from me, but they've blocked off this area, so we'd probably have to go through the pathways in order to get to the other side. But as for where I'm at right now, I don't necessarily see any evidence markers here at this place. I do see, it appears, I guess, in the chaos of everyone running, running. I see one person's sandal that's here on the floor, just here at the sidewalk there. And you can probably imagine that was somebody that was just, once they heard what was happening, just ran as quickly as they could. I see another flip-flop that's just on the sidewalk or just at the intersection as well over there. A lot of trash that's also scattered across the intersection as well, but not necessarily seeing any evidence markers at this particular intersection, Alan.
Okay, I just want to bring everyone up to speed where we are in this developing news situation. Earlier this evening during the Salsa on St. Clair, a pedestrian festival, one of the best-known street festivals in the city of Toronto, police responded to reports of shots fired at the intersection of Arlington, at the corner of Arlington and St. Clair. Police responded on scene. We now know that 2 people have been killed in a mass shooting. Perhaps 6, perhaps 7 others have been injured.
Oh, wow.
There is still a suspect outstanding. Police will give us an update shortly at 10:45 to give us a better sense of what they know. I've been in contact with the mayor's office. The mayor's office says the mayor will be on scene at 10:45 for that update at the command center. Both the premier and Pierre Poilievre, the conservative leader, have reacted to this as well, expressing some shock. And the area continues to be blocked off. Doug Ford, I'll just read to you his post just a short while ago on X. I am devastated by the senseless violence at the Salsa on St. Clair Festival, which has claimed 2 lives and injured others. My thoughts are with the victims and their families and everyone affected. Thank you to Toronto Police and our first responders for responding to this. This is video from earlier in the evening, and this is where we actually see some of the people running from the scene. This is earlier in the evening, shortly after the first reports of those shots.
Okay, so we're waiting on a press conference. Get some official updates. Seems like it's kind of calmed down, at least I guess, the scene. Canada active shooter. They had left. 1 person or multiple, I don't know. At the Salsa Festival. Salsa Festival. Damn.
And as we have
popular Latino, I guess, dance and celebrations.
Suspect outstanding. We do not have a suspect description. This is earlier tonight. What do we know about these shots that we are showing here? These are taken earlier from this evening, and I'm just trying to get you some better sense. Get you a better sense of who shot those, that video. Some of that, I think, it was from bystanders. Some of this, I think, is from City TV employees that were at the festival. And that were filming and recording some of the things that they saw, and that's where you're seeing some of this video here, which shows this brief shot of people running at one point. I want to take you now to some of the bystander interviews that we have collected so far.
Can you describe what you heard around the time of 8:10 p.m.?
So around that time, I was in my home, just a few houses that way from the event, and I started hearing a lot of screaming. It was a lot of like fear, not happy screaming, and I heard mass amounts of people running by my homes, and I didn't know something like this happened, and people were running in between my home and then on the porch and ducking for shelter. And at first I just thought it was an overflow of people. I just thought the crowd was kind of pushing people into my street. So I got ready and came out, and that's when I then knew that it was shots
need to
that I
get off.
heard. That's what
Get
those
off one.
bangs were, and it was people running for cover and running for their lives. And yeah, it was pretty. It's impactful knowing that something like that happened just a few houses down from you, and that I didn't even know what was happening at the time it was happening, and I only found out later when I asked. At
Just
the time it was happening.
seeing it all unfold when you came outside your door, I'm sure maybe the word that comes to mind is chaos. Like you said, you saw people running in all directions.
The emotions were very mixed when I went out. Like, again, I was still trying to piece together, and I saw it in real time, the aftermath of an event like that. And it was a lot of people trying to tell their loved ones on their phones that they were safe, and people taking refuge in the nearby houses and on the property lines for safety. And some people were crying and some people were continuing the party. Everyone reacted differently. So when I then came to the corner, because I was interested in maybe like buying some food from the festival, it's my first time, that's when I learned. And then I made sense of all the reactions, all the running, all the screaming I heard. And yeah.
Did you realize that it was the sound of gunshots that you heard, or did you think it was something else?
I thought it was those cars, or like that have the pops, or I thought it was balloons or some sort of music with a pop inside. My mind did not go to a gunshot, and it was, even walking out, I didn't go to gunshot. I thought, oh, something must have happened. I wouldn't have thought shot. I've lived here for many months now, and it's a nice family quiet neighborhood. It's safe, and you wouldn't think an event like this would happen, and I'm really sorry. I hope everyone's safe that I saw, like all the faces that were running for their lives. They were scared, and I hope they're okay now.
And you were saying that some people were trying to run for shelter and safety that you saw. Were people trying to, run to your house to try and seek shelter?
Yeah, so they were running like in the small pathway in between my house and another's, and almost like to my backyard. And at first I was like, are people trying to get in? Like a lot of questions went through my mind. And then there's people on my porch who were ducking like trying to take cover and telling their friends, get down, she has a gun. And I learned all this after. But in the moment, it's when I heard the yelling, saw the shoes in the pavement in my area, and heard all the people at my doorstep. And I didn't know that they were trying to run for their lives. I did not know.
And just hearing the details that continues to unfold, and we're still also continuing to gather those details itself, but you live in this area, and this is the scene that you're seeing right now of your neighborhood. I mean, I can't imagine what's going through your mind in terms of the feeling that you have just seeing this.
It feels unfamiliar. Like I got so used to like going out at certain times, and I know what the scene is, and seeing this here, like the aftermath of such a traumatic event, it doesn't feel like the neighborhood I knew yesterday. It doesn't feel like my area that I was just in. It feels, and then seeing again like the concern, the fear, the negative emotions on people's faces in a neighborhood where everyone's friendly and you pet each other's dogs. It's almost dysregulating, and again, I don't know where to go from here. Like, it's hard just sitting in my home knowing like what's happened just a few steps away.
Kira, thank you. I really want to thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
We have breaking news this evening. You're watching 24/7. I'm Alan Carter. Two people.
Okay, we're basically just waiting for the press conference. I guess they're kind of looping interviews. 5 minutes left if they start on time. The old scenes and interviews. No word really on the suspect. No official word on the suspect. Let me see. Is this a little different?
Do not know if police are looking for one suspect or suspects. We know that the area has been completely shut down. Police are out in serious force, heavily armed police. They have closed the area. At 10:45, in a short amount of time, we will be taking you live to an update from the deputy chief, the deputy police chief. The mayor will be with him, where we will get an update. This is video from earlier in the evening, and what you are seeing here, at one point you will see people running. This video was taken, this shot here where you see the large blur in the center there, behind that blur, and we're not showing to you because it is quite disturbing, is you see emergency personnel performing CPR. And that happened earlier this evening, again, starting at 8:30. Now, we are going to get you to that police update at 10:45. We will get you there. Don't worry about that. We will get you there when that happens, when they start speaking. But I want to take you to another one of the witness interviews we have gathered this evening.
Ira, again. Huh?
You said that you work at a cafe nearby. You didn't necessarily hear the shooting, but what did you hear in the aftermath?
We saw the swarm of people just running towards that way on St. Clair, trampling all the patios, all of the tents. Like, people were trying to get inside and all of the doors, just swarming our tents. Like, we got pushed in the table against the wall. But yeah, everybody was scared.
And when you saw the people, was it like a large swath of people just sort of running in every direction? Were they all trying to run in one direction?
Away, one direction, all going away.
And for how many minutes did that necessarily happen for?
2 or 3 minutes. Yeah.
And at that point, did you come out and did you start asking questions, or did you just think it was just, did you find it strange?
People just said that they heard loud noises, and I feel like it happens pretty often. People hear a loud noise and they think it's gunshots. I didn't immediately think it was gunshots until I started getting messages and other people started saying, oh, I saw it, and then I saw the sirens.
And so after the fact now, we're all seeing right now police here that are out here on St. Clair Avenue West, and you're still starting to hear some of the details continuing to unfold of just what happened here during Salsa on St. Clair. I mean, what goes through your mind?
It's really sad because I live right there, and I've been coming to this festival for so many years, and it's like my favorite time of the year, like for working and coming here with my family. And like Latin Fest, I feel like is one of the most fun ones as a Mexican. And like, it's really sad because it might not happen tomorrow, and it's really sad that there's people to ruin it and that it's become such a sad day. But yeah, tragic.
And you heard from that woman there, you know, this is a beloved festival. People love this. They look forward to it all year. This is where this has happened. St. Clair Avenue West. Police saying that the initial call came in at Arlington, although we're not entirely sure if that is exactly where this took place. We are getting an update from police, so we'll get more details on that. So that gives you a sense of where we're talking about in the city. A big stretch of St. Clair, of course, is shut down for the Salsa on St. Clair, and obviously the festival is now closed. There has been reaction from politicians. We had reaction from both the leader of the Conservatives tonight, Pierre Poilievre, saying, shocked to hear of the shooting at the Salsa on St. Clair Festival in Toronto. Our prayers are with the families of the two individuals who passed away. We hope for a full recovery for those injured. May the police find the monster responsible for this innocent loss of life and bring them to justice. Premier Doug Ford also posting to X, I am devastated by the senseless violence at the Salsa on St. Clair Festival that has claimed 2 lives and injured others. My thoughts are with the victims, their families, and everyone affected. Thank you to the Toronto Police and our first responders for responding to this horrific incident. The person responsible must be caught, brought to justice, and spend the rest of their lives behind bars. I'll take you now live. We are now live again at Salsa on St. Clair. I believe this is close to where we will have the update from police. At the command center. You heard what both Pierre Poilievre and Doug Ford had to say. that the person must be found and be brought to justice. Well, they must be found first, because that is a key part of the story.
Not even
this
found
evening.
it, on the loose.
Police are still searching for a suspect or suspects. We haven't got any suspect information. We haven't got any indication as to whether or not this was a random incident, a targeted incident, whether there was something that led up to it. We're hoping that we will get some of those details, although from covering police for many, many years, I will tell you that I wouldn't expect too many details at this early stage. Police tend to play these things very close to their vests. Again, we will get an update from the deputy chief. He will be joined by Mayor Olivia Chow. Afia Ba is our reporter on scene who has been there for some time. Afia, just orient me here where we are and what we're seeing and what we're expecting in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, Alan, so we're here by St. Clair and Winona. This is where the command post has been set up and where we're expecting to get an update from Toronto Police in a few minutes, quite frankly. We do know that the mayor is set to be on scene soon. I did see Councillor Josh Matlow here on scene. I believe they're all just here waiting for the update here. And several people continue to still remain on scene. Again, the aftermath of this mass shooting here in the city's West End during the Salsa on St. Clair event. We can see mounted officers here that, again, are on scene. These safety mitigation these safety mitigation pieces here that are here. Again, this was all part of the event that is still here. This scene appears to be a little less chaotic from what I saw at St. Clair in Arlington. But it appears here that this is where most of the police here are gathered, and again where investigators will be providing an update shortly as to what exactly happened just a couple of hours ago. Several people that I've spoke with leading up to right now saying it was just quite chaotic. Everyone was just trying to run for safety, run for cover. Some people saying that they didn't really even think that it was gunshots, that they thought it was fireworks. But all the same, you hear that and you run. You don't wait, you run. And we saw on the other scene where I was at by St. Clair and St. Clair and Arlington there, where we saw even a flip-flop that was on the floor, a sandal that was on the floor there, just again, people trying to run for safety. And the number has continued to change from moment to moment. Initially, it was reported that 5 people were shot, 6 people were shot, and now we're hearing that it's 7 people shot. Again, 2 people confirmed dead, and suspects still at large. And there's still a lot of people here, again, all here remaining on scene. In addition to the officers, we're continuing to see here several people that are just on the sidewalk here, just trying to, either figure out what happened, or they might have been attendees of the Salsa Fest or Salsa on St. Clair. They might just be living in the area. But as you can imagine, because of such a scene that we're seeing right now, there's a lot of attention in this particular area as we continue to await for an update as to what exactly transpired here, Alan.
Hey, that is Afia Ba, who is reporting for us from St. Clair, where the police are expected to update us on the latest on the investigation and the search for a suspect in this mass shooting that has claimed 2 lives and sent a number of people to hospital. We are expecting the deputy chief to give us this update. It was supposed to take place a couple of minutes ago, but in these sort of situations, obviously, you can't hold anybody to a clock like that. This is a very fluid situation. And you saw at one point during the shots, you saw some of the investigators conferring with each other, moving back and forth. That information will then be passed on to the deputy chief, who will then give the update to people. You see the mounted squad there. And as you mentioned, those are those traffic mitigation devices that we have seen pretty much throughout any kind of street festival, to be able to make sure that no vehicles can be used as weapons and come careening through the crowds. Obviously, we had the terrible tragedy in Vancouver when that happened, and that has seen a lot of increase in terms of security and security precautions at these types of events to make sure something like that doesn't happen. Obviously, in this case, when we're talking about a firearm, you know, it's a different kind of situation. So, and as you can see right here, the police are not taking any chances. They are heavily armed, and we are, again, continuing to wait for an update for you. Let's show you, if we can, again, some of the video we have from earlier in the evening. And this video was taken for us by an employee of City News, of Breakfast Television.
Waiting for the official press conference update. My connection went to poop tonight. I don't know what happened, but I guess, whatever, I guess everything went wrong. But waiting for the official update, press conference. The salsa shooter, has he been caught yet? They're saying the salsa shooter is on the loose. Salsa shooter, 2 people dead, seized. Still waiting. Let me do a little check. Let me check that police page.
Hey man, how you doing?
No updates from the official Toronto police page.
We're still aiming for 11.
Oh, they're aiming for 11 now. Okay.
Still good for 11? Yeah.
About 7 minutes.
Deputy Chief Frank Barretto. Sorry, my name is Staff Sergeant Jesse Weeks. Jesse Weeks. I'm just introducing the Deputy Chief. So Deputy Chief will be making remarks. Frank Barretto. His surname is B-A-R-R-E-D-O. That's correct. Thank you. What do you need? Oh, sure. Like a grip thing? Yeah. Chief will be making remarks. I don't know. I don't have any there. It looks like she's. Oh. Just to throw it in there, right?
Yeah. There's the podium. The Toronto police. Alpha. Oh man.
How long are you planning on having pizza I need over here with that microphone.
I'll just be back.
I'll call you back. There's a press conference here.
Jesse, J-E-S-S-E.
Yeah, just hold.
W-E-E-K-S. Staff Sergeant. I'm not making remarks, so I'm just going to. I guess somebody's getting some. Yeah, it's Deputy Chief Frank Barretto. I can come over. B-A-R-R-E-D-O.
Looks like getting ready.
Preston, do you want to get in place?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, you say Frank Barreto, live Barreto? So yeah, and he's deputy chief.
The person's name when you were saying is the person.
I believe it's going to be him, which was Frank Barreto.
Yep, I am.
Are we good to go?
Just a few minutes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, just a few minutes.
Get started.
Good evening. We're here tonight to speak about an incident that happened just a few hours ago. Making remarks tonight will be Deputy Chief Frank Barreto, as well as Mayor Olivia Chow. Following their remarks, there will be a brief period of questions. Deputy Chief.
Thank you, just 2 weeks. Thank you all for being here. I'm here to provide an update on a very concerning incident that took place about 3 hours ago here at the Salsa and St. Clair Festival. What I can tell you, and I'll preface my remarks by indicating that this is still a very fluid and active investigation, and there's still many facts that are yet to be confirmed. But what I can tell you is that about 3 hours ago, about 8:12, police responded to reports of gunfire, active gunfire, in the area of St. Clair near 781 St. Clair Avenue West. There were people that were injured, there were people that were down, and there was a lot of activity and a lot of frontline responders that quickly went into action. 2 males, since that incident began, have been pronounced dead. Another 4 individuals have been transported to local hospitals with serious injuries. 2 firearms were recovered at the scene. This was a very active and chaotic scene. At times, there was some concern of an active shooter. That turned out not to be the case. As you can imagine, the information is flowing very, very quickly when something like this is unfolding. We have now established about 3 crime scenes, and homicide investigators and gun and gang crime investigators are on the scene as well, conducting what is a very complex investigation into what took place. The festival essentially has been moved back away from the scene, and the investigation of this area will be cordoned off for some time while investigators go about their work. I would ask that any members of the public that saw anything, that perhaps had video of what took place, that they might contact 416-808-1300, as we will be very eager to get all the information that we can and piece together what took place. As I said earlier, this is a very fluid and active matter. Investigators are currently working as we speak here. So I might be able to answer some of your questions as we go forward, but for now I'll turn the microphone over to Mayor Chow for some comments. Thank you.
I'm joined by Councillor Cole and the local councillor, Councillor Matlow. I'm deeply disturbed and angry about this reckless, irresponsible act of violence. And right in the middle of a festival attended by families, children, seniors, and just beyond words how disturbed I am. I want to, for the 2 people that passed away, their loved ones, I want to send condolence. The pain they must be going through, my thoughts and prayers are with their families. And I urge people that have footage or have some information to call the police and let them know their information. And I want to say thank you to the first responder, the Toronto Police, the fire department, the emergency services. They responded immediately, quickly, and we saw them in action, and we are deeply grateful for their service. There may be other questions, and the details I'll leave it for the police to answer. But certainly, on such a crowded festival, to that kind of reckless violence is just leave me very disturbed and just totally angry.
Thank you, Mayor.
Deputy, do you know how this started? Did it start as an altercation of some kind, or was it what precipitated this?
So it's very difficult to say with certainty what precipitated this. I can tell you that there was an exchange of gunfire between individuals and that 2 firearms were recovered. But as I said, investigators are piecing it all together. This was a very chaotic scene. I think we had something in the neighborhood of 13,000 people participating in this festival, so it's crowded. I mean, just the brazen, despicable quality of this exchange here, the amount of danger to the members of the public, as the mayor commented, is just so unacceptable. But we will piece together some of those bits of information, and when we're able to share it with the public, we certainly will.
Deputy, have there been any arrests? You said it's complex, right? Can you flesh out how it's complex in an investigation?
I can say it's complex because of the sheer number of people involved, just the chaotic amount of information. There'd be lots of video to pour through, lots of witness statements and evidence to pour through. So you can imagine 13,000 people, obviously not all in the area where the shooting took place, but just a lot of people to interview, to speak to, and to try to piece it all together. And there may be more than, there's obviously several suspects, so we're going to put it all together.
So there have been no arrests?
There have been no arrests at this time in relation to this incident.
How many people are looking at crime scenes? Can you talk about that?
There's at this time, I'll say there's about 3 crime scenes, so areas that have been cordoned off and that will be more carefully examined than essentially the generality of St. Clair. As to the number of suspects outstanding, I don't have that information available to share as yet. We'll certainly share that as the investigation unfolds.
Do you believe there are more shooters beyond these 2 people who you suggest are exchanged gunfire?
We will not rule that out at this point. I mean, again, I don't want to get ahead of the investigators. What they do is they gather the evidence and they go where it leads them. So I'm not going to put anything out into the public that would potentially misinform the public as to what took place.
Deputy, you said that there were at times reports that it was an active shooter, but that was not true. What does that mean?
That's correct. So an active shooter sometimes can be very concerning because it would essentially potentially put into the minds of responders and the public that someone is actively going around shooting, perhaps indiscriminately. And that is probably one of the worst types of calls we could have. This seemed to be an exchange of gunfire between individuals targeting each other, obviously indiscriminately putting vast numbers of people in great danger. But an active shooter is something that we put out because we weren't sure in the initial few moments of what it was. It turned out not to be an active shooter in the classic sense of the word.
Can you give us how many shots were fired? The 3 scenes?
I do not know exactly how many shots were fired.
Can you give us an idea of the proximity of the 3 scenes that you guys are looking at right now?
I'm afraid it's to the east of us. It's along St. Clair. I believe there's 3 scenes, so we might have had some movement and shooting that was happening in concert with itself. So
I appreciate, Chief Deputy. We're only 3 hours since this happened.
Right.
Are there other suspects believed to be outstanding, or is it there 2 individuals that exchanged gunfire who are now deceased?
I would love to be able to tell you with some certainty, but I'm afraid I cannot. It's still far too early in the investigation to tell you who was involved, what their roles were, and who might be outstanding.
What, did the suspects kill each other, or are they on the loose? What the hell's what?
That information will come when it becomes available.
To flesh out the numbers so our viewers can understand clearly, 2 deceased, 4 others were shot, and another person taken to hospital. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's my understanding.
And Deputy, just to clarify, are any of the deceased part of the 2 groups that were exchanging gunfire?
I'm not able to comment on that at this time.
One more question.
Can you just talk about the chaotic scene here that first responders encountered? I mean, it's been probably since the Danforth shooting that I haven't seen a response like this by officers and first responders to get here to try to figure out what's going on, to find people who were shot and attend to them, and to help other people who may have been fearing their lives and trying to run away from the scene. What was that like?
Yeah, as you might imagine, it's chaotic, it is challenging. We are very blessed in the city to have first responders who will run to the danger, who will run to the gunfire while other people are scrambling away. They will confront whatever the danger is and deal with it as best as they can according to their training. So 13,000 people, large, you can just imagine the chaos, the panic, the fear. And you've got people that are injured and you don't really know what is going on in the initial few moments. So police officers and first responders, paramedics, fire professionals, they simply have to get there and start figuring it out and start dealing with it, and that's exactly what they did. We're quite proud of their work, and now the investigators have quite a burdensome task as well to put it all together and bring the people responsible to justice.
Are you certain, are you certain, Debbie, that there's no other, threat to people who live here in this area? That there's no one, a shooter hiding in a backyard or a shed, for example?
At this time, if there was something like that to be concerned about, we would be letting the public know. We do not believe at this time that there's some sort of active threat to people that live in and around this area.
Deputy, this is far from the first shooting that happened in Toronto. One of the eyewitnesses I was speaking to said, this is something that, it was scary, but this is something we're used to now. How do you respond to those kind of voices?
Toronto is one of the safest cities in the world. I'm sure the mayor would agree with me, and our councillors of the city would agree. But we are 3 million people, and unfortunately we are not completely immune to some of the things that happen globally, quite frankly. But Toronto is an extremely safe city, and we're very blessed with the first responders that we have, the police, the fire, and the paramedics that handle this, and that plan this, and that deal with the aftermath of this. So while it's tragic and it's very concerning, we have very talented and trained people dealing with it right now.
Can we just have, as the local councillor myself, the deputy mayor, I live here, Councillor Madlow.
Do you have agents?
It's Deputy Mayor Mike Cole and Councillor Madlow. We just want to say how disgusting this is. This gangster violence in a peaceful family festival. We had this for 15 years, no problems, and to shoot up a festival indiscriminately, these thugs must be caught, no bail, put them away for 20 years. This threatens all of our public events. This has got to stop.
Our homicide squad is investigating this. They can be reached at 416-808-1300. That concludes our news conference. Thank you very much for coming.
Oh shit, he getting fired. Who's that? Is he a reporter or something?
Mayor, you want to take any questions?
I'm almost like confused. I might have to hear the news recap. What did they say? It was two groups of people shooting at each other. What, the shooters shot each other? If that's the case, what's the problem? Is this gang related? I mean, of course they need to be taken off the streets, but hey, if they eliminated each other, well, what the hell is going on over there in Canada? I didn't even know they had gangs out there. They got gangs in Canada?
Yep, I'm here.
Oi. What the hell?
Okay.
That's crazy. Crazy. I don't know what's going on. Wow, yeah, he grabbed that shit. They're trying to cut him off. We're tired of these thugs and gangsters. That's what I'm like. I don't understand. Was this like some type of personal beef, brawl?
Did you get it?
Yes. Somebody stepped on somebody's shoe. You looked at me the wrong way. You wore the wrong colors. What happened? You stepped into my hood. This is my hood. No, it's my hood.
I couldn't get my questions in otherwise.
What the hell? And so they eliminated each other, if that's the case? Oh. Oh, yeah, I was feeling like sorry and stuff. I mean, the thing is, unfortunately, is that other people were shot. I guess we'll have to see for the outcome to see what really happened if they catch these people. That's probably why nobody's talking. Right? That's probably why no witnesses. No witnesses. Somehow they don't have a video. Somehow there's not even a picture. Somehow not even a description. How many people were at this event? Hundreds of people? Wow. Nothing? Nobody saw anything? Wow. Maybe they're in fear. Maybe, like retaliation or something. Wow, that's nuts, man. Ellen, thank you so much for the membership. Appreciate that. I guess we'll see. I'll follow up, I guess, whenever, if we ever get an update. I don't know, because that California shooting that I covered recently, that might have been gang related. I don't know. Some of the stuff, it happens and then you never hear any kind of update. You don't hear about arrests, nothing. It just dissipates and disappears like it never happened. It's like an alternate reality over there in Canada. The way they do their news is weird too. Oh, we're going to hold up. But so the public's in danger. No, we're going to hold up and wait. We're not going to tell them anything. Let them figure it out. After the fact, then we'll cover it with the news, with the weather on the side, because the weather is really important. We're going to put the weather on the side while there's an active shooter, and we're going to cut in for break, every 2-3 minutes, and we'll have some sports on the side too. What the? What a mess! Trying to find the updates and live feeds and stuff. Yeah. 8 people shot, 6 people shot. We'll cut the break. We don't got time for this. We'll come back later. We'll catch up with you guys later. What the? Wow. Okay, that's Canada. Amazing. No wonder nobody watches you guys anymore. Amazing. All right, okay, I'm done with the rant. But anyway, yeah, I hope the innocent people that were shot at, I hope they come out okay. And I don't know. We'll find out about the 2 people that were shot. If they were just, it sounded like they said 2 groups of people, I guess shot each other. It seems like, and a lot of times with these shootings, it doesn't matter who's the collateral damage. It could be a child or whatever, random innocent people. They don't care. And I guess the no snitching rule applies. So we'll see if they catch them. Maybe video description. Something. With the British accent at all costs. Yeah, I know. It's horrible. I don't know what I'm saying. And by the way, apparently, again, the U.S. is attacking Iran because Iran supposedly shot a cargo ship out in the water, even though they've been telling us that their whole navy has been wiped out and that they have no mines and they have no ships. Somehow, maybe it was a lucky RPG shot. I don't know. Somehow they've all been wiped out, but somehow they're still shutting down the Strait of Hormuz and also somehow making the calls. And they are telling Trump and everybody, oh, no, the Strait is shut down. But now they said that they're launching the U.S. is launching another round of attacks. I'm just kind of like almost over that stuff. It's unfortunate. I don't know. I don't even want to get into it. But it's ridiculous to me. That whole situation is a mess. So yeah, if you're following that, check it out tonight. There's large attacks going on and stuff like that. All right, but I'm out of here. Take care. Appreciate you guys. Peace. Bloop bloop. Be safe. Adios. Bloop 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 bloop.